at this point in my time being off of testosterone, I have realised that I do not want to go back onto it.
It's crazy to think how quickly like my facial hair is like grown back in, even though I'm off of testosterone. I think so far I've heard some stories of people immediately feminizing and stuff, but I feel like I'm actually quite lucky, but at the same time there's certain things that I'm quite happy to start feminizing and others not so much, so it'll be interesting to see.
It's probably the worst of the worst that I have ever had, and I would call it the mother of all shark weeks. Oh my god, the pain. I genuinely thought I was having some kind of like atrophy issue or like an appendicitis rupture. Like, I don't know what was happening, but there was so much pain that I was just like, what is going on? When in reality, it was kind of like my ovaries screaming at me, being like, waking up. Like, what have you done to me?
Hey there people, I just want to say at the beginning of this video, please like, comment, subscribe, click that notification bell. I have so many more updates coming up. I am so sorry that I've literally not posted in like 25 days. I know that is ridiculous, but I will hopefully be posting way more frequently, especially when the sort of exam schedules calm down. I have so many updates to show you about my realization of my identity, a few docuseries coming up, a few projects for films, like short film stuff and docuseries of queer subjects and other subjects planned in the summer, and also a bunch about me going off testosterone. So if you do all that, and also let me know in the comments down below what kind of stuff you want me to show in my 6 months off of testosterone big overarching video where I go through all the graphs, all of the data, everything that's happened and how I feel about it, then I can put that all in the 6 months off T video. And that video will be in about like April or May. So yeah, just let me know what you think and enjoy the video, because there's been some interesting updates in the last few months. I will also say that I have also added not only the 3 months data, but the 4 months data in one whole video, just so that there's more content in each video, because not a crazy amount happens each month, but a lot happened in the last 2. Enjoy the video.
Hey there, welcome to another video. In this video, I'd like to introduce you to my cactus Clyde and the unnamed unicorn, which my friend got me, and it lights up. You can't really see it at the moment in the light, but so this is my 3 months off T video, and quite a few things have happened. Even though I was gonna make them every 2 months, I'm gonna make a video update now, because just so many different things have happened, so many things I wanted to kind of talk about. And I also wanted to film it right now because I have, as you can see, I have like quite a bit of facial hair that's actually grown back. Even though I'm like 3 months off of testosterone, it still grows back within like a week or 2. And if I left it like a month, it would probably be back to its like original quite long state, because yeah, you can see just along there, like there's quite a bit of stubble grown back in. And every time I shave it, it still seems to grow back. I don't see too much of a face shape change, like, yeah, it doesn't seem to have changed too much. I will take my hat off. As always, my hair is always crazy, and it's just been growing and growing and growing because I've been trying to grow it out. But rather than growing down, my hair kind of grows up. So there's not much I can do about that, unfortunately. This is my face 3 months off T. I really don't think too much has changed when it comes to my face or how I kind of look. My hairline's still the same, but I haven't really noticed too much of a change on that front. My hair is growing like crazy. It still seems pretty coarse. Because I wasn't changing too much, I was like worried that things weren't starting back up again, but that's gonna be something I speak about later in the video. So I guess what I can do now is I can show you like the difference between how my body's changed, and then later we'll get to measurements. Try to do this and keep my hat on at the same time. I don't know if it's possible. Oh no. Well, that was anything but. This is my body. You can see that, like, I know I used to have like quite a bit more like chest hair and stuff, but I have gradually been like, every time I go and do a femme look, I will usually shave and things like that. At the moment, I haven't actually been to the gym since like before Christmas. So like this, I've managed to surprisingly keep some of my shape. So some of like the muscles I have back here, some of my shoulders, my chest, it actually hasn't gone away too much. And I was told like I was going to get weaker, I was immediately, and I just haven't felt that. I know that before testosterone, I did have higher levels of testosterone for like, you know, an estrogen dominant system. I actually had higher levels, but I genuinely haven't been to the gym since. So I've managed to keep this form. I am going to start going back just to stay toned. Maybe, do my hips look bigger? I can't even tell. I don't mind if they do. Well, I quite like the mismatch because if any of you guys haven't heard about my new identity and things, being, you know, gender fluid, like, I quite like having the smaller waist, the bigger hips, and then but also the bigger shoulders, so that I can find an easy balance point. I can still wear dresses and it'll look nice like that, but then, you know, I can cover my arms if I'm trying to feel a bit more feminine and stuff. So at the moment, what is going on, I really haven't been working out, but I will get back into it basically. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a look at my biometrics in a bit, and then also have a look at a few other things like my measurements, and speak about some things that have changed, as there was quite a big thing that happened recently. So I will speak about that once I've got all my measurements taken, and I'll be back. Hello people. Let me just get to the portion of the video where I speak about my experience actually off of testosterone, and I compare some graphs and things, the fun stuff. So it's the end of a very long day. I'm very tired, but I really need to get this video out to you guys because so much has kind of happened over the last month, like since, or at least since I made the last video, and I really wanted to mention it in here at the moment. I am almost... Yes, so right now I'm actually almost 4 months off of testosterone, and the last time I filmed a video, which you just saw, I did my body measurements, and I will possibly do some body measurements again, but the changes is so small that I'm kind of going to do them every 2 months now. There are some changes, but they're not like massive or anything. So if we have a look at the graphs here, we can see that my weight has gone down. There was a dip when I was really ill, so my weight was up at like 61, 65 back in October of 2021, and then there was a drastic dip. Now I'm down at like 59.05. My BMI went down slightly. My body fat percentage has sort of generally been down, even though I thought it would go up, but I don't know what's happening with that. One of the things that I will say is I've had some issues with appetite. So like I already had issues before where like I just simply don't want to eat sometimes. And it's not like an issue with that kind of stuff. It's just, yeah, it really is. I don't feel hungry unless I kind of make myself be like, oh, you need to eat a bit more. So that's something that's been interesting, whereas, and plus when I sit down, I can hardly eat anything in one sitting. I get full really quickly compared to before, where I could eat like an entire bowl of something. So that's interesting. Visceral fat's been lower. Body water's gone up. I guess I've been hydrating enough. Skeletal muscle's gone up. Muscle mass, it hasn't dropped that much, but it has dropped since I stopped testosterone in October. It was at 51, now it's at 50, we're just below 50, so 59.6. I haven't worked out since like last year, so that's understandable. When we look at the measurements, I for some reason have, so I've seemed to have gotten my waist, and I will make graphs of these in like at the 6 months mark. I'm going to do a whole graph of everything and how everything has changed. So my waist has gotten smaller, and my thighs, and I think like my butt region it's not changed too much, but I think the thighs have gotten bigger just by a little bit, and my hips have also, well, my hips actually appear to have gone down slightly. Like they went up in size, and then now they've settled at about 33-inch hip circumference. I think that is possibly because like I've lost some weight because I haven't been as hungry like all of the time. But I mean, at the moment I'm quite happy. I don't really see too much of a change in my body. I would like to get back to the gym, but I've just been too busy really to go. So at the moment you're seeing what is happening both off of testosterone and also not going to the gym as much because I just don't have as much energy as I used to. That's another thing. Like, I just feel like there is a bit of a dissipation of energy, but not a ridiculous amount. It's just, yeah, it's a bit tougher doing exercise sometimes and getting the energy to do it. Chest muscles have gone down a bit. I haven't been working out. My shoulders have gone down a tiny bit. Obviously biceps have gone down a tiny bit. It's not enough that it's like, because I've also leaned down at the same time, I still look like I'm still quite happy with my current form. So it hasn't gone down to the point where I notice it in terms of dysphoria wise. It's just gone down a tiny bit in like the metrics of it, I guess. I'm going to take my glasses off so there isn't such a reflection from the light. So I guess one thing I wanted to say in this video is I have been getting tireder easier. I don't know if that's just because work and uni has been hectic. There's not too much change with like my hair. I feel like maybe it's a bit softer. My facial features, I haven't seen much of a difference. My facial hair has been growing back a ridiculous amount, so that's pretty crazy. I guess I only have noticed it because before stopping testosterone, I didn't shave my face, whereas now, because I'm going for, you know, being gender fluid, I kind of go between looks, so I'll occasionally shave my face. And I guess I've only noticed how quickly it grows back now, but it still grows back fairly quickly and rather thick. There is a little bit of patchiness when it grows back. It appears a few hairs haven't properly grown back in this region and in certain places. And as you can see, I've been getting spots, but I don't know if that's because of my hormones or because I've been eating a lot more sugar just because I'm stressed with uni. That is all a possibility. I haven't seen much difference. My voice, maybe the range has gone up a bit. I've been testing out some higher voices. And I think I'm going to do a voice training so that I can sort of switch between my deeper voice and my higher voice in the future when I'm doing looks. It's something that I kind of want to try out, so that's something I'll do in the future. But at the moment it's sort of just been at this range, which I think is it's not too high and not too low. It's quite nice in between point. Yeah, body hair's still the same. I have to literally like shave it, and it's pretty thick body hair still. I haven't really noticed much thinning, but I don't know, I've been keeping it shaved rather often, so there is a good chance that I won't really notice. I definitely think that being off of testosterone has allowed me to process a lot of my emotions a lot more, and even though, yes, going off hormones and hormonal changes comes with all sorts of mental health issues, I still feel like I am able to process my emotions. I can cry if I need to, whereas I feel like everything gets a bit more pent up when you're on testosterone. And I've definitely been able to process my emotions, to do with my gender fluidity, to do with a lot of other things. It's been rather useful to actually be able to process things that I couldn't process for the years I was on testosterone. And even if you don't want to go off testosterone for the long run, at some point in your life, it might be a good thing to have a break from it. I obviously listen to your doctor, but it might be a good thing if there's stuff you need to process to have an actual break from it and allow yourself to process that and go back on. Okay, so one of the biggest things that has occurred, and I can't believe I haven't mentioned this already, is I started my Shark Week, and I'm gonna just say it as it is. I started my period, my menstruation cycle. It hasn't come round again this month, so I think it might have just been a one-off. I don't want to go into much detail, but I had to take something that was hormonal that had estrogen in. That might have kick-started it, so I don't necessarily think it's like my regular flow has started yet, but I think it's possibly started because I had to do that, and it sort of it gave it a booster for like a little bit of estrogen, and then, you know, so at the moment it isn't regular, but it has happened. One thing I have to say, and this might seem dramatic, but it was probably the worst of the worst that I have ever had, and I would call it the mother of all Shark Weeks. Oh my god, the pain was I actually was tempted to call 111, which is our sort of like mildly emergency health telephone number here in the UK, and I was so tempted to call them because of the pain. I genuinely thought I was having some kind of like atrophy issue or like an appendicitis rupture. Like, I don't know what was happening, but there was so much pain that I was just like, what is going on? When in reality, it was kind of like my ovaries screaming at me, being like, waking up, like being like, what have you done to me? I've been asleep for so long. So it was honestly a terrible experience. I was in so much pain. I was just like curled up. I was like just curled up on my bed, and obviously I understand, yes, there are pains when it comes to that kind of stuff, but I'm telling you, I've had those before. You know, it was rather late in my life when I started testosterone, so I had those for many years. I know what they're like. This was something else. It was unnatural, so it was honestly ridiculous. I haven't had another one since, but maybe mine are going to be more sporadic, so I'll keep everyone up to date with that, but it was honestly so painful. But at least it shows that everything is still kind of working, which is good in terms of, you know, hopefully my own estrogen will start coming back in properly. At the moment, I'm feeling more euphoric than I am dysphoric being off testosterone. That is my personal experience. I mean, other people might say, oh, well, your experience, because you're fine with femininity, it doesn't quite relate to mine. However, I will say that when I'm feeling my masc identities, even that I haven't found dysphoria in. So when I'm wanting to be masc, when I'm wanting to, you know, grow out my facial hair a little bit, or, you know, just present and identify as that particular side of my identities, I don't feel dysphoric then. So at the moment, I don't think much has changed. I think at this point in my time being off of testosterone, I have realised that I do not want to go back onto it, and that is the decision that I have made, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to be sticking with it, but I'm not boxing myself into anything like I used to. I've realised, however, being on testosterone has done so much good for me, and I'm so glad I've been on it for as long as I have. But I'm also excited to see what happens going off of it. So other than the appetite, the energy, all those kind of things, I don't think there is too much else that has changed. So I think that's the end of the video. I will keep everyone updated. Please ask me any questions if I didn't mention anything in the comments down below. And I guess I'll see you guys in the next video, whatever that may be. Let me know as well in the comments down below what you would like to see in upcoming videos. And I've got a few things up my sleeve that I'm hoping you guys will enjoy. So anyway, thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, click that notification bell, do all the things like the subscribing, because I will be going and in a few months making sure that I do a full chart overview of how my body has changed over the time that I have been off of testosterone. And usually a lot happens at 6 months, but that's only about 2 months away now. So I guess we'll see if anything drastic happens in the next 2 months. Stay tuned. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.